decades, only Disney had the special sauce when it came to animation. Sure, others tried to compete, but they just couldn't capture the magic of hand-drawn Disney animation. But then, damn it, computers came along. And sure, with Pixar, it was like, if you can't beat them, buy them, right? But Disney can't buy every animation studio. So competitors are popping up like daisies. By the way, I'd like to clarify, Disney certainly could afford to, but they've already got, I think, more movies than they can handle. So even Dreamworks Animation is back in the game, by the way, and Disney thought they killed those suckers, right? But Dreamworks Animation is back, now part of Team Universal. Although Disney can take the smaller win of pushing Jeffrey Katzenberg out of another animation studio. That company, the Mouse, has been so cruel to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey has done so much for the Mouse. But anyway, as we take a look at the animation slate for 2019, I just want you to keep in mind how it went from only one game in town to a very wide and competitive playing field. All right, so now, unbelievably, even though we have yet to see a single teaser for either, we're getting both Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2 next year. When it rains, it pours. But it's also interesting because, time flies, because it seems like only yesterday, right, that we were wondering if we even wanted these movies. But come on, resistance is futile. And with these two sequels, Disney and Pixar are not only pulling out the big guns, but also the safest ones in their arsenal. I am actually curious to see how they do at the box office. Toy Story, I think everybody felt the third was like the perfect ending, so I'm curious to see what they've come up with story-wise to warrant a return, although if Ken's there, I'll be there. And then with Frozen, I mean, it's popular, but it's not quite as popular as it once was. I don't know if maybe it took too long for them to come back with a sequel. And I don't think that Olaf's Frozen Adventure did the brand any favors. But they're building whole frozen lands and theme parks across the globe, so, Disney's heavily invested. So they gotta try. We'll see what happens. Now, with Dreamworks Animation, now that used to be Disney's arch nemesis, but they have a new one, and that's Illumination Entertainment, which is weird because animation fans, at least in the United States, never really talk about Illumination Entertainment. I think because they don't want to acknowledge that what I think many feel is an inferior studio is genuine competition for Disney Pixar. But if you look at the box office, it certainly is. And they're also at Universal with Dreamworks. In fact, with Katzenberg pushed out, Chris Meledandri runs both John Lasseter's style. And as we now know, it's not safe for a studio to put all their animation eggs in one basket. So Meledandri has his own big guns in 2019, well, biggish ones. And the first over at Illumination is The Secret Life of Pets 2, which they're hoping to turn into another franchise for themselves. It is their most successful film out of their one single franchise, and that's Despicable Me movies, and those are absolutely huge. I love them. If you don't like them, I don't know. I think maybe you're not admitting it. It's a guilty pleasure. And those movies, by the way, do mad money overseas because of their European sensibility. And also, when it comes to Secret Life of Pets 2, who doesn't want more Snowball, right? Then Dreamworks Animation, now at Universal under Meledandri's tutelage, comes roaring back to life, hopefully, with one of their biggest franchises, and that's How to Train Your Dragon. Now, it's been 5 years since the last movie, but thankfully the Netflix animated series has kept interest going. Theoretically, I don't know if this is such a slam dunk. I don't think that the trailer was as hot as one would suspect or would plan for, considering how hot DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon was back in the day. Like, this was like Frozen level excitement, and just didn't generate the clicks with its first trailer, at least. Then, speaking of interesting, here's an interesting situation. Pearl Studio actually used to be part of Dreamworks Animation, one of Katzenberg's last big but failed ideas, and that was expansion into China. Remember, they were going to open up an entertainment like a entertainment complex, which would have like a movie theater and all kinds of stuff going on. And then also they would house Dreamworks Animations. They called it I don't know why they did this, Oriental Dreamworks. We were like, that sounds like bad branding, offensive branding. But the division did help animate Kung Fu Panda 3, but then as DreamWorks Animation imploded, Universal sold off the stake that they acquired when they took over DreamWorks Animation, and now it's an independent animation studio called Pearl Studio. But anyway, their first fully animated in-house movie was developed at DreamWorks Animation. So DreamWorks Animation is sharing the credit for this, and it's called Abominable. And a mostly Asian American voice cast here, including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s Chloe Bennett, tells the story of a group of misfits who find a young Yeti and must help it get home, E.T. style. You can see the pitch. But you know, this sounds also a lot like Warner Brothers' Smallfoot. What's with animation constantly ripping each other off, right? I mean, it happens in movies too, live action movies too, but it happens an awful lot in animation. It's weird. All right, then speaking of Warner Brothers Animation, they've had some genuine misses. Storks was brilliant, damn it! I'm so sad that movie didn't do better. But they've had some hits too, mostly of the Lego variety. They just got greedy and oversaturated their Lego movies. But they took over a year-long break, right? And they're bringing back the brick that started the whole build, and that's the Lego Movie 2. With not only the original voice cast, a new director though, unfortunately. Phil Lord and Chris Miller still mixed in there. But then also they're adding current comedic sensation Tiffany Haddish. Although I believe she's the alien in the first trailer and they changed her voice. So I don't understand why you would pay for Tiffany Haddish and then change her voice like electronically. I'm assuming she'll eventually take that helmet off and sound like Tiffany Haddish, and Warner Brothers will get what they paid for. She'll also, of course, promote the movie, which will be very valuable. Then Blue Sky Studios, once a huge player in this field thanks to the Ice Age movies. Damn, those made a lot of money. Like, wow. But they faded away, but they refused to give up. Good for them. They were just Oscar nominated for Ferdinand. I still haven't been able to make myself watch it, even though it's an Oscar nominated movie. I know some of you said it was good, but part of me just feels like they had slots to fill with the Academy. That's just somehow how it goes with animated movies. And yeah, I think you can see into the future of Best Popular Oscar as well, right? There's always maybe one or two films where you're like, really? And the Academy's like, we needed 5. All right, so their latest effort is an incredible style action movie called Spies in Disguise. This sounds like a real winner. Basically, Will Smith's Bond stand-in must team up with his version of Q, voiced by Tom Holland, to save the day. Really, an amazing voice cast. I don't think that Blue Sky Studios could mess this up. But then again, because it's Bond, never say never. Plus the movie's going to be released by Disney, right? So that could be interesting. Hopefully they'll hold it up. They'll be like, welcome, Blue Sky. Or they'll be like, we don't want you here. And bury the competition before, and maybe they'll sell off Blue Sky. Some of you have thought that maybe Blue Sky would become their direct-to-video animation division, and I think Blue Sky's like, how dare you? That's not what we're going to become. So I'm not sure what's going to happen over there. But Disney could jettison Blue Sky before they even release this movie, and then this movie would be stuck in limbo. I mean, Disney has said they will release every completed Fox movie, but does that count for the companies that have distribution deals with Fox? We shall see. All right, then Fox also, this is hilarious for Chris Sanders. But Fox has a live-action CGI hybrid movie also coming up from fan-favorite director Chris Sanders. Now, if you're not familiar with Chris Sanders, and if you're into animation, how could you not be? But he's the guy behind Lilo and Stitch. He was doing really well at Disney until he got into a fight with them over what was, Bolt. It was supposed to be American Dog. He got kicked off of that. He left in a huff, went to DreamWorks. He did the How to Train Your Dragon stuff there, which of course was also, as we just were discussing, very successful. That didn't things didn't quite work out. And now he's out there on his own. Not with DreamWorks Animation, but he's still at Fox, and now he's back at Disney. Circle of life, baby. And he's doing this live-action hybrid movie. Maybe Disney will evil stepmother it, right? But this sounds amazing. This sounds really good. So I think they should bury the hatchet and release this fantastic movie where Harrison Ford, tentatively, last we heard he was in talks for this, but he would play a prospector during the Klondike Gold Rush, but the story focuses on his pack of dogs. Oh, that sounds so freaking good. I mean, Maybe I could maybe actually see that going to streaming, although Harrison Ford on streaming, I don't know. And that would, Chris Sanders would be like typical Disney BS. All right, so that sounds very good to me. But although considering how Alpha did, but Alpha didn't have Harrison Ford, although Harrison Ford often doesn't do well at the box office. Share your thoughts on the prospects of that movie down below. Now, in the little leagues for 2019, there's more. I told you, crowded playing field. But these aren't quite the same level of competitor. We've got Sony's Angry Birds 2 and Paramount's Wonder Park, which recently released a trailer, but none of these are that exciting. Plus, MGM is trying to get into animation with a new Addams Family that boasts a killer voice cast. I'm not kidding. Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, Chloe Grace Moretz, Finn Wolfhard, Nick Kroll, Bette Midler, and recent Oscar winner Allison Janney as a reality TV host that goes up against the family. Sounds good. I don't like the visuals actually on it that much, but everyone's going to be interested in that voice cast. Finally, these movies might come out as planned. UglyDolls from Real FX, who have made movies in the past. Freebirds, which was medium, and then Book of Life, which was excellent until Coco, which actually was better, came along and stole its thunder. And then the Playmobil movie, which I'd have to see to believe, but I would be happy to see it. So that's the animation slate for 2019 as it currently stands. What movies are you definitely going to see? Which movies are you definitely not going to see? And what do you think of the current state of the animation industry? Write your thoughts down below. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.